Hello everyone and welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Crash Bandicoot 2 Cortex Strikes Back on the Sony PlayStation 1. I am one Welsh sheep and yet again. And today, ladies and gentlemen, we are now tackling the final warp room of the game, which is filled to the brim with nothing but space-themed levels. These are a new level type that are exclusive to this specific warp room. And we're going to be taking them all on in this part and the next part. Although we also have an extra jungle level to do as well, which honestly is a little bit out of place in here, but it adds a little bit more variety in terms of what we're going to be seeing, so I'm kind of excited about that. Anyway, throughout the course of these stages, you're going to be finding loads of pistons. You don't want to be crushed by them because they will hurt, as you would expect. They're a crushing device. Being crushed is a painful experience. And we got new enemy types that involve us having to have to slide underneath them in order to hurt. Now you also have these new type of crab enemies that we need to deal with, which basically they'll switch between two different formations while you're coming up to them. One of the formations you see right now is just they have their little arms to the side and you have to jump on them in order to hit them, otherwise you will face a very shocking defeat. Literally, I'm not even joking with that, you will die. And then the second formation is they will be having their arms up in the air, which we can then slide into them to destroy them. But the problem is, after we get introduced to the second enemy type, immediately we get introduced to the third version of them, which they switch between the different variations of their arms. Now, while this can be quite a little bit easy to sort out, trust me, it can be really tricky in order to it's very easy to get killed by if you can't anticipate what they're gonna do next. So just pay attention, be careful, and you should be fine. You should be fine. But yeah, these enemy types can be annoying. I like them though. I like them a lot. But like I said, this entire warp room is basically these new space-themed levels, which are some of my favorite level types in the entire game, just because they're very unique in the way they look. There's loads of like tech, there's loads of background scenery and what have you. I don't know, it just looks nice. And the level designs are some of my favorite in the game. Speaking of which, this is a death route. Well, what we want to do with this death route is we need to ride it temporarily, but we aren't going to be completing the death route in this area, folks. We're going to have to do a suicide because we need to jump on the death route to make it stay there permanently, and then we need to... This is one of those backtracking instances where we need to go to the end of the stage to go all the way back to the beginning, and then go to the death route, and Bob is our uncle. So yeah, it's a little bit challenging, and leave this enemy down the bottom. You're gonna need him to stay alive. It's a little bit challenging to get through this one, folks. It's one of the hardest stages in the game. In fact, this is probably the hardest stage in the game, except for Cold Hard Crash. Or maybe the other space level is. I don't know, I get really confused with these. Because these levels all blend together for me. I think it's because they're all in pretty much the exact same warp room. So I don't really have a good indicator to find out, okay, this is X level, this is Y level. They're both pretty much the same gimmick-wise, you know, folks. The levels aren't much different. But one of the things we're going to need to utilize now is Z-axis abuse, otherwise we will not be able to get around certain objects, and we will be requiring knowledge on the Z-axis in order to get through a certain issue later down the line, because there's a lot of panels during the course of this level with little arrows on them. You land on those panels with the arrows, a laser blast will come out of a missile turret somewhere. If that hits you, you will shrink and you will die, and there is nothing you can do about it. So... oh, God. So, basically, what you're going to need to do is you're going to need to tiptoe to the corners of the platform until the hit detection is enough for you to stand on, but not enough for you to actually collide with anything in the environment. You'll see what I'm talking about later on. It's a little bit challenging, it's a little bit tricky to do, and yeah, it's just hard to do, you know. You need to be really luck-based in order to perform these actions that I'm going to do. Not that's easy to do. You just do a long jump around and Bob's your uncle, but hey, you know, it's another bonus level. Yes. And I believe this is the bonus level I died the most to. Like, I died to this bonus level like 3, 4, 5 times maybe. And I don't know why. I think it was because I made stupid mistakes throughout the entire thing. That's all there really is to it. It's actually a pathetically easy... It's an easy bonus level, but... It's one of those ones where you can fail at quite a lot, so you're gonna need to go... You probably end up playing through it multiple times like I ended up doing in this recording. Now fortunately, as I said way previously in the playthrough, if you die in a bonus stage, it means nothing because, well, you haven't... It doesn't take away your life. But it's still annoying to have to go through the bonus stages, you know? Anyway, those little arrows there on the ground, be careful of them, because... Like I said, they will shoot lasers out. Lasers bad. Lasers are bad. And these are a new enemy type as well we need to deal with. What we need to do is basically jump into them, spin into them, and knock them back. If we fail to knock them back, they will knock you back, and they can chuck you into a pit like that, which is not fun. Not fun. But this is actually the final stretch to the end of the stage, ladies and gentlemen, which means we need to backtrack pretty shortly. Now, just because of the whole backtracking you need doing a lot of these levels are some of the longest levels in the game. It doesn't stop me beating the warp room in 2 parts, because I wanted to beat it in 2 parts. Could have easily made it 3, but I figured that's kind of me. I might as well be kind. But anyway, that's the end of the stage. Now, if you wonder why I'm not going in there, I haven't got all of the crates, because they are all on the death route. So, unfortunately, you won't be seeing me collect anything, and you won't be seeing me collect anything until the end of the stage. But this is what I was talking about earlier on with Z-axis manipulation. You need to tiptoe to the corners until, well, until the platform allows you. You know, folks, otherwise you're going to have a bit of issues. Just saying, just saying. And we're coming up to an enemy, like I said earlier, specifically to not kill this enemy. The reason is here, we can't get back without this enemy being here, because we need to basically jump off the enemy and do a 360 triple axle backflip, hardcore parkour, all the way up to the death route platform. It's actually surprisingly tricky to do, so just be a bit careful when you're going through this one, ladies and gentlemen. And of course, be careful with these pistons as well, because the hit detection of the pistols are a little wonky. Like, if you're underneath a piston, if you still make it, but you touch a piston as it's going down, it will consider it a crush. You will still die because you're being crushed. So, just be a bit careful, go as quick as you can, and don't get caught by the ball underneath of a piston. Like, even if it doesn't physically crush you, just touching it when it's going down has enough force to crush Crash, which is a bit depressing to say the least. And I hate this jump, by the way. We need to be immediately pinpoint precise, otherwise we're going to die. Which we just did. It took me so many attempts to actually get that one through, ladies and gentlemen, I'll be honest. Perfectly honest. But when we get through this ridiculous jump, we will be able then to progress on, and there's a little platforming sequence where we need to bounce from each of these crab things to another crab thing to another crab thing, and it's just a matter of timing your jumps perfectly so you can reach the other side. So just be a bit careful. It's easy enough to do, but you know it's very easy to mess up. That's what I'm getting at here. But with that, ladies and gentlemen, that is the stage over and done with. We got the gem. We got both gems now. And it's now time to head on back to the final warp room. And what stage is next, ladies and gentlemen? Well, the next stage is a new gimmick level, folks. Like we done the boulder chasing stages earlier on, we done the racing stages. Now we got the rocket pack stages, which, well, as you expect, the jetpacks, which are very awkward stages. They're very awkward to control, but they're some of my favorite stages in the game. Just because, I don't know, I like them. They're different, you know, folks. So let's head on into the first stage. By the way, everything in this stage is zero gravity. There is no gravity whatsoever, so it's not a traditional platforming stage. If anything, I'd say this is closer to a Star Fox level than anything else. Although, you don't get to shoot things with it, which is kind of a shame. So yeah, here we go. You push the X button to go forward, you push the circle button to turn around and go backwards, and you press the square button to spin. And what I kind of recommend to do with this stage is go slowly. Don't go fast, because if you go fast, well then you'll probably either miss boxes, or you will hit a laser beam, or you will hit a red hot pipe. Doing so is bad, by the way. It hurts. Don't do it. Trust me. I've done it many a time. And these cherry things, I don't know what they are. They just look like cherries. Don't touch them. They hurt. As you would expect. And the controls are inverted, which doesn't really mind. I don't really mind too much. Like, down is up is down. And because that's normal flying controls, you know, that's how flying is actually done in real life. I just adjusted throughout the years to those controls. Like, I've never known anybody to like up is up and down is down, but I know there are people out there that prefer that control scheme, so you know, I think there may be a way of changing the options, maybe. But just in case there isn't, just a pre-warning, the controls are a little inverted for this, so just be careful. Just to be careful. Oh no! But now these are the only enemy types as well we're going to be running into. They will try to hug you and electrify you. Just give them the hug, just spin into them whenever they're not electrified, and they will open up the gate behind them, which will allow you to progress on. Now those wires as well, even though there's insulation, like, you know, the stuff that stops you being electrocuted when you touch a wire around the wire, like the little plastic thingy, even though that's there, even if you touch it, you'll get electrocuted. It doesn't do its job, you'll still get electrocuted even if you touch the non-electrical bits. So just pay attention whenever you see wires, don't touch a bit of them, because you will die, and it will be painful. Oh yes, painful, yes, yes, yes. Now these space scientist guys, I don't actually think they even move. Apart, you know, they move left, right, up and down to the same position you're at, but they don't move forward. So you're never in any risk of them running towards you and hurting you, which I think is kind of neat. I think that's kind of cool. I think it's kind of cool. By the way, back in the day, this one room, that one chamber with the moon in the background, that blew my mind. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it just flew into a laser. Oh yay! Don't do that, folks. It's not cool. It's not cool. But yeah, be very careful whenever you're going through the stage, because Naughty Dog are a little bit mean, to be blunt, when designing this level. So it's sometimes they hide the crates behind things that you wouldn't normally look. So you do need to be very extra diligent. You need to be careful. You need to keep an eye out, because it is very easy it's very easy to miss something. That's all I'm really getting at. But there we go, ladies and gentlemen. That's the first rocket pack level over and done with. And with that, we grab ourselves a delicious new gem, and now it's time to go back and tackle the final of the woodland levels. Yay! And if you remember the Firefly level, it's another one of them, which is yeah, I guess, maybe, perhaps, I'm not sure. I'm not too fond of well, I love the Firefly levels, but I find them challenging, so I don't usually go back to them that often. That and the fact there's no draw distance usually freaks me out. But yeah, it's just it's like the first level, but in darkness. You know, we've seen one of these before. They're good levels. They have the possums, they have the iguana things. I think they're iguanas. Actually, I don't even know what. Frilled lizards, what are they called? I'm trying to remember what they were called in the Tasmanian Tiger now, because those things were like the main bad guys in that game. Well, I don't know, I can't remember. But anyway, for the most part, this is a really straightforward level. But the thing is, we have a death path here. Now, what I'm doing by here is the complete wrong thing. Don't go through the death path, trust me. Unless I'm thinking of it backwards. Oh, actually, yeah, go through... Yeah, go through the death path until you reach the gem. There we go, my brain just went fried for a minute. Keep going through the death path until you reach the gem. Then you're going to probably want to kill yourself. And then go back through the normal route, because basically you missed a hell of a lot of boxes by going this route, folks. So, and you don't want you don't want to repeat the entire stage again just to get all the boxes. So just go back around the normal route. Thing is, we'll actually need to back around into the death path again anyway, because in the death path itself, there's actually a be careful, this nitro crate, by the way, is very glitchy. Whenever we go back to the death route, there's actually a little route at the very dead end of it. Basically, there's a bunch of boxes we need to pick up, and we can't pick those boxes up normally. So basically, we need to turn around. That's what I'm trying to get at here, folks. You know, I'm tired. Anyway, the lizard enemies, it should be obvious at this point because I've been doing it throughout the entire game, but the best way to take them out is by sliding into them, so I'm just saying that much. And of course, it's another bonus level. Now, like with the previous bonus level, or just like any level with the Firefly, I do recommend going a little bit ahead of the fly itself in order to be able to see the boxes in which that you want to blow up and collect the collectibles in. So yeah, basically the key to getting through these missions is don't collect the Firefly until the last possible moment when it is needed. For example, by here. Go a bit further until we have all of the boxes in an area, then we move backwards, collect the Firefly, and then we move forwards again. This is basically the main key to be able to complete the stage properly. You know, folks, this is what we need to do. It's what we need to do. Although this Firefly stage is a lot easier than the bonus one we went to previously, so if you know what you're doing, ladies and gentlemen, you should be fine for the most part. Should be. I'm not promising anything, because I don't know how good you are playing games. You could be awful at playing games, and you could have loads of trouble, but you could be brilliant, and you could have less trouble than I do. You know, it's all gravy. But be careful when going back to the death route, because there are loads of pits. And the camera's not a friend, basically. The camera doesn't want you to go backwards in that area. You need to go backwards in that area, but the camera's not built for it. So you will probably find yourself sliding into a pit, or just flat out running into a pit constantly. And all I can say to that is good luck. Just keep doing long jumps. Just keep jumping as much as you can, and hopefully you won't land in a pit. And if you lose your Firefly, jump off the sides of the area, because well, it makes you sit. You know, it's safer to just jump off the sides because it's guaranteed there's a floor on the sides of the area. But anyway, with that is all of the boxes up to this point. That's legitimately how much we need to backtrack. It's a tiny amount, I know. But a tiny amount is still something, isn't it, folks? It is. But yeah, it's the final stretch of the stage now, ladies and gentlemen. And you could say we just flown through it. Because it's a Firefly, get it? We just flown through the... Oh, love me, please. But there we go, ladies and gentlemen. That is it for this part, so thank you all for watching. Hope you all enjoyed. Don't be sheepish, people, and when we return next time, we'll be finishing Crash Bandicoot 2, Cortex Strikes Back. Hope you all are interested and prepared for the excitement that lies away ahead. So yeah, thanks for watching, people. Hope you all enjoyed. Don't be sheepish. I'll catch you all then. Bye!